is okay. Hello guys, what the heck's up? It's me, Almighty Manny, your favorite YouTuber. I'm just kidding. That's probably that's probably not true. I'm probably not your favorite YouTuber. Welcome to another sketchbook tour. I hope I didn't already go through this sketchbook. I actually probably didn't. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So you guys might be wondering, what the heck are these two monsters supposed to be? Well, this was during a brief period of time where I felt like making what? Well, this was during a brief period of time. Hello, Fennegear.
Hey.
This was during a brief period of time in which I wanted to draw some more zany stuff, more energetic looking art, as showed here. I drew a cool YouTuber called Arlo. His persona is this cool blue monster. It's really awesome. He's like a Muppet, and I love Muppets, so it's pretty much that. That's pretty much it. That's just a weird little thing. Hold on a second. This desk is messy as heck, so I gotta pick up my sketchbook and turn to the next page. So I'm currently making a bunch of monsters that sing, but they're not for my singing monsters.
A bunch, he means a bunch.
A bunch, yeah.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, Fennegear.
Please stop yelling.
Sorry. I'm sorry. So I've been making monsters that, when grouped together, they sing a cool a cappella song, though they're not for the game, My Singing Monsters. And this was the concept for a monster called Slinky, who is the monster underneath one of their beds. But the funny thing is that every one of the a cappella singers is a monster. So
That is fun.
I'll probably take another crack at drawing Slinky sometime soon. Next drawing.
You doing a sketchbook tour?
Yes, sir. So, Joey and I hey, quit cracking your stinking knuckles. So, Joey and I are working on a cool Undertale AU called
Underpose.
Underpose. Thank you, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes place after the neutral root, right? It takes place after the neutral root, and this is Gaster. So, he has a black bone here. I can't read it because all the buttons are showing. Black bone, it takes LV from the human and gives it to the user of the black bone. So, if a skeleton is powerful enough, they can use the black bone. One of those skeletons being our boy Gaster. And
It's your boy.
it's your boy. He has started regenerating due to help from Sans, Alphys, and Papyrus. They are doing whatever they can to get Gaster back to his normal self. So he's got fully functioning arms, but he has no legs, so that kind of sucks. He just kind of slinks around
It
everywhere.
reminds me of the stinking antagonist.
Hang
from
on,
Big
come
Hero
over here and
6.
speak louder.
That reminds me of the antagonist from Big Hero 6. He's got no leggy legs.
What's his name?
Well, his superhero name is actually the Controller.
Wait,
The toy is called the Controller.
Professor Callahan.
Yeah. I
Okay.
imagine he'd walk around like he did when it came out of the water and onto that buoy thing.
Just like...
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so
Except
this...
it wouldn't be that big. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway.
So this is a drawing of one of Joey's characters, 2099.
My boy.
There is absolutely no context for this picture. It's just a funny picture I felt like drawing of 2099, and at some point in time, Joey's going to draw something else here for a blog on Amino that I'll show off. Next up is an enemy for Underpose as if it were a game called Sunbird. It's just a weird bird thing that has to do with the sun, I guess. Well, it's just a yellow and orange bird thing that's called Sunbird.
Yep.
Nothing really special yet, though. These things might just like... They might come out and attack you. And maybe that does, too.
That's the Delta Room.
I know. Next...
I love Crossbones.
Crossbones.
Yeah, Crossbones.
Next is Crossbones. Oh, shoot. He is based on a skull and crossbones, and his eyes are meant to be shaped like an X.
That's really good, man.
What, Crossbones?
Yeah.
Thank you. And
You're welcome.
his arms are meant to be like the four bones that are the skull and crossbones, so it's actually just two bones.
Would he use bone attacks?
Yeah.
Like Sans and Papyrus?
Yeah, though he's not a Skelefont OC, he's just a skeleton enemy. I don't know if...
He probably uses normal white ones.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Here
God.
is the page of complete and total scrutiny. So I just did a whole... Hold on. I just did a whole lot of concept sketching on this page. Just like arms and mouths and expressions and dialogue that would be a reference to other music and movies. And there's a really good looking eye. And then it says up at the title. So that's all the cruds I have to give on that page. Next up is going to be a picture dedicated to stupid head drawings of mine and Joey's OCs together, called the Andromedae. They're like the main gang of our story called Strange Worlds. This is Desperado, or Desi. That's his nickname, by the way. Everyone here is going to be using their...
There's only 2 people there.
Everyone else here will have their nicknames instead of their full names or whatever. Okay. And this is Andromedus, or Andy.
People call him Andy.
Yeah, I'm still unclear on this. Do the lines go over the chin too?
No.
Or is it just the eyes?
It's just the eyes and the freaking forehead.
Okay, so...
God.
I'm sorry. Fuck! So, next up is Sans.
Why does he have a gray jacket?
I don't know. Well, this is more like a yellowish gray jacket. I wanted to give him just a normal gray jacket, and I think this color looks ugly. So I might trace this over and give it another shot. So
I still want it to be blue with the gray hood.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm going to make a light gray jacket. So this is Sans from Underpose. He's definitely more ominous, as there have been some pretty impactful deaths from the underground, so he's always on guard. So I guess he's more into it now. A little less lazy, but just as comedic.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more deprecating. Not self-deprecating.
Deprecating, does that mean insulting?
Yeah, a little bit more insulting with his humor. Or snarky. He'd be snarkier. So next is concept art for Underpost Papyrus. He was decapitated in the neutral route, but survived. And here he's just like... with his cracked skull. And he is now part of the Royal Guard, though. I don't think he'd be captain yet. Undyne's still captain of the Royal Guard. And then there's some dialogue. Just, a puny human like you. And then there's some other crowd. They thought I was dead, but the great Papyrus would never lose to a puny human. Oh, Joey just fell. Oh, it goes, never lose to a puny human like you. I'm not going to do the laugh again. And then that's pretty much it for concepts for Underpost Papyrus. He holds his head around, by the way. My back is broken. Joey's back is broken, by the way.
Oh my god, I landed on chips.
Not gonna show
A
that
bag
one.
of chips.
This is the very first character concept for an OC called Binky, he resides in this place called the Unwantodox Realm. I don't know, is the Unwantodox Realm still part of Strange Worlds?
Obviously.
I think for the Unwantodox Realm, we're gonna have it be more serious. Like, none of the people like King Virgil or anyone else is gonna be in that. I'll just make that a totally separate story. Okay. So this is Binky, the Unwantodoxian. What?
Do all the characters still have their alternate selves that reside there?
Yeah, and Binky is actually a Bionicle mock that I made a while back. So, hold on a second. He was just kind of sitting somewhere, all wadded up and weird. This is what he looks like. He's just got 2 thumbs up, and he's meant to look really weird, and he's got spikes everywhere. I used a piece from Paraka from Bionicle Stars, and those are his legs. By the way, for those of you in the comments who wonder if I like Bionicles, I love Bionicles, and I love Legos. They're like the biggest part of my life. So is MSM, but I don't really like MSM anymore. This is Chillax! What?
The Phantom is trash.
Yeah, this is Chillax.
Oh my god, all the creature roll boxes.
This is Chillax, the Pokemon I designed in that one video. Now that I think about it, his legs are infinitesimal, so I might do a redraw of Chillax.
I'm gonna go draw fusion.
Just because?
Yeah.
Would it actually happen? I don't think that's possible.
No.
Okay. So this is a drawing of another one of Joey's characters.
It's like a Dark Claw situation.
Okay, just like a what if?
Yep.
Okay. So this is another one of Joey's characters, Tings, and she's saying, I'm not going to do a voice. You think wrestling bears is cool? I've taken on a clone of me that had Gatling guns for hands and won. So, she actually did do that, though. It's not actually a clone of her, I don't think. You're going to have to ask Joey. It's just a clone, but if it's not a clone of her, she's just saying that to make it sound that much cooler, though it's probably cool enough on its own. But, I don't think that's the coolest thing you can ever do, because, I can swallow pills without water. So, I'd say Tings is up against some pretty insane competition. If I do say so myself, I'm living proof of that baloney. Next up is 2 hair concepts for Tings. Joey doesn't really like this one in there. That's back when Tings had a quiff. I don't think Tings has a quiff anymore. I can't remember. I don't remember what her hair looks like. Oh yeah, it's like some swoopy hair that goes off to the side, except both the sides are shaved off, so it's like that, except everything just goes like whoosh, just over that way. I have a drawing of her somewhere. I'm not going to show that. Not going to show that. Not going to show that. Definitely not going to show that. Okay. So next up is an OC for Underpose. It's not an enemy. It is a Skelefont OC. Though we're trying not to make him a Mary Sue or whatever you want to call it. This is Sinzel. He is based on the Sinzel font, and I'll just kind of... He is roughly 10 feet tall. That just happened when making the sprite, but hey, it works, and I really didn't want to make a sprite for him all over again. So Sinzel, he's a very antisocial skeleton. The only other monster he'd willingly talk to is his like female butler. What's her face? Ariel. Her name is Ariel. She's also a Skelefont OC, and they've got a pretty close bond. Sinzel's attacks poison you. And I think an Underpose Papyrus has gotten a lot more powerful, so I don't know if his attacks poison you as well, but we're doing purple bones that poison you, and Sinzel uses a lot of purple bones and combined with blue bones so that you won't be able to move, and if you do move, you know, you're gonna die, because you got 50 blue bones sticking through you, and you only have 49 HP. Next up is Grilby for Underpose. He's getting older, and Sansa still hasn't paid his tab, and he is a grandpa now. His daughter had a baby, so he's just kind of done. And don't ask how someone with fire for a head can have wrinkles. Okay, just leave it alone, please. No. That's Echinoda. Oh, here we go. This is a drawing I like. This is Andromedus. He's in some fairly fancy clothing for Andromedus, and he's just like, the door! Just like, get the heck out! I hate you! Get the heck out! So, he's got his hair all slicked back and crud, and of course his teeth are not those pearly whites. I think teeth actually have a natural yellow to them, and I forgot to color in this part of his shirt, which I think is dumb. Hey Joey, welcome back.
Bye.
Oh!
Bye.
Bye Joey!
Bye, Maddie.
Next up is 2 crud of the acapella monsters. Oh man, that look, can I like, there we go. Everything looks super shiny. Oh, by the way, this guy, his name is Spar. So I just want that to look better on the camera. There we go. So this is Spar and Belch. Belch is actually the cousin of two other acapella monsters named Bort and Boom, who are brothers, that I'll probably show off in a video dedicated to the acapella monsters. I don't know I know what kind of sound he makes. He's like, ah, la, 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 la. He screams because he's very boisterous. And they all have bios as well, so I'll just read those in the next video. That's the thumbnail I made for the My Little Pony movie. I still have to set the one for the Justice League video. I haven't because I'm lazy. I actually drew Thor from Thor Ragnarok, and I don't think I'm gonna do that weird dot eye style anymore. I'm gonna have full on black and white eyes because, see, that stupid dot eye just doesn't look good with the rest of Thor looking like a big buff Cheeto Puff. And he's like, what in the heck happened while I was gone? Because I'm going to make a comic about all the baloney that's gone down while Thor was gone. It's like Spider-Man happened, Bucky happened, Black Panther happened, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver. Well, Quicksilver's dead, so no one gives a crud about him. Ant-Man. A whole lot of crud. A whole lot of crud has happened. So next is just 3 drawings of someone who is completely baffled at something. He's just like, what? What? Oh, crud. What? So, I think this was mainly just me trying to practice poses with, like, arms and hands and stuff. I think I did really good on this one. This one looks dumb. Shoot, I keep doing that. I'm sorry. And this one looks decent. I just don't like that one at all. Well, the expression is nice, so that's just about it. I mean, one face does not a person make, am I right? So next is the title page for a series Joey's working on his channel called FNNX. I think it's like a short version of his self-mocked name, Phoenix. So this is Binky, this is Deathbot, and I don't know this guy's name, just to move him aside in case these buttons actually show up on camera. So I am really proud of the way Deathbot looks. I think he looks super good. Binky looks weird, and this other guy here, I think he looks just fine. But again, I think Deathbot looks great. So next is a couple of redraws for Bort and Boom. I have the original drawings somewhere, but I don't want to get them because I want to show off all the acapella monsters in one video. So these are just sketches that I never decided to finish because I hated them. So they just don't look like themselves, and you'll understand what I mean when I actually show them off. So, that's pretty much it. I don't want to look at these anymore, so next drawing. Next is King Virgil, king of some place. I actually came up with the series name for where King Virgil and a bunch of other guys reside. It's called Otherworld, and King Virgil is the king of everything. He's like the big king, though there are independent kings for the other kingdoms. Like there's King Smush, there's King Magadon, Prince Magadon, but King Virgil, he's like big shot, king of, you know, everything. And next, I decided to draw Aaron and Danny from the Gimbal Gamps, or Game Grumps. I think I did really good on this one. Shut it down! I have another drawing of Aaron and Danny somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Well, I have a couple ideas of where it might be, but I don't want to get it. So, I just think Aaron and Danny are super cool guys, and I love Game Grumps as a channel. So I just decided to make fan art for probably my favorite couple of YouTubers. This is just the thing that the camera filmed in the MLP movie review. Oh God, those dogs! Next is, oh my, I can't talk over them. Oh. Next is a drawing. I'm sorry if I sound super weird. I'm just trying to talk over those dogs. Next is a drawing of me that I drew during health. I think this was on either my first or second day of health, and I was like, I'm gonna die with my hands on my head. And I think this one looked pretty cool, though I'd probably erase this line and draw it coming down from over here, just so I look a little bit more hunched over, and so my body doesn't look so small. I mean, I know I'm a skinny guy, but I'm not that small. Oh my god, that's just a stupid sketchbook entry I had to make for art. I just think can waste pages of my sketchbook all the time for art, and I hate it. I hate it. I make them on a lined paper, but that's not allowed. So next is Existential Bot. So it's just a few drawings of an existential robot, just getting existential and crud. So this first one is, what is your position in this universe, you worthless pleb? Joey and I love to use the word pleb as a condescending noun, because I just think the word is really funny, especially if used right. Then there is, have you ever thought about death? And, who are you? That'll get everyone thinking for the next, like, couple minutes. Because, he wants you to know your place and how worthless you truly are. So this is Death. He is one of my characters. He's just Death. He looks pretty similar to Joey's character, Olagmasan. Do not compare him to Undertale. I'll just delete your comment. And then he's just saying, the answer to all your questions, to the universe, to what is everything and what is nothing, is 42. So I actually have a rough explanation of why the answer to all your questions, the universe, what is everything and what is nothing, is 42. So, so the Chinese, Japanese, or Korean translations for 4 is she and 2 is me. And when you put she and me together, you make she me, which means death. So the answer to literally everything is death, because that's where everything ends. Everything just dies and disappears in this universe, and no one will remember you in 500 years. So next up is a redraw of Spar. This time he's yellow and he looks less like a Cheeto Puff, and he's yellow and green. I think this one's kind of good, though I still think it looks a little bit weird, so I'll probably not go with yellow, or I'll make his fur lime green, and I'll make his skin yellow. So I'll make a little concept page for that, and I'll see how it looks. Next up is Satan. He's a rather laid-back dude and very upfront, contrary to the popular approach that Satan is a trickster. Because to me, death, it's very self-explanatory. You die, and that's it. So I feel like Satan would be a fairly upfront and just generally cool guy, similar to my persona for Death. Except, well, I don't really know why I drew Satan, because Death kind of takes his place, and God is life, except I call him God. I actually have a drawing of God and Death together in here. So I don't really know why the heck I decided to draw Satan. I just made a design for Satan. He is a character. He's the manager of HE double hockey sticks. In my story, when people die, their souls go down to heck and they're processed, whether they are gonna go to heck or heaven, if those actually exist. And they go to Satan, and they go to the Grim Reapers as well, though Satan does help out. So he and the Grim Reapers determine whether the souls go to heaven or heck. So another job of the Grim Reapers is, I already explained their job, but I thought it would be funny to have multiple Grim Reapers, and there's this huge stereotypical corporate job industry with tiny cubicles, and in each one of those cubicles is a Grim Reaper. So they kind of suck. They just keep track where the souls go. And that's it. This is the thing I filmed for our Wonder review. That's just a stupid monster I made. The thumbnail for the Wonder review. I was actually going to make a drawing. I was gonna turn, what's his face? Steven Lin, I think his name is, into a singing monster, and I was gonna make a drawing video about it. Except I had such a difficult time, and this thing looks so bad that I didn't want to upload the video. This is the 4th page for Don't Wake the Wublins. This is Cozy Monster, and that's just a thing. Hold on a second. Can I? Yeah, I'll put my hand over there. So Cozy Monster, he's a pretty, well, I actually changed his name to Tilt Slam. He's a pretty, hyper-vigilant guy. I actually don't have a personality for him other than the fact that he's pretty happy most of the time, and he's hyper-vigilant. So this is some concept, okay, hold on a second. This is some concept art for some of the acapella monsters. This is just a random guy. I wrote Bjerg there because I can. This is the family tree. Oh, gosh. This is the family tree for Bort and Boom. Their grandfather and their grandparents are Burl and Debbie. Burl and Debbie gave birth to Blam and Biff. Blam married Angeline and they had Belch. Biff married Shell and they had Bort and Boom. So, Blam and Biff are brothers and blah, blah, blah. Belch is Bort and Boom's cousin. And these were the first 2 concepts for Biff. I tried to make him look like, the genetics for Bort and, the genetics of Biff and Shell were kind of like combined to make Bort and Boom, but I know that's not how genetics work. The same goes for this one, though I do love this concept. I just made a better one that I'll show off in the Acapella Monsters showcase. I still have so many more pages to go. Next is Amaro, a monster I made based off of Danny Sexbang, or who I believe is the lead singer of Ninja Sex Party, my favorite comedy band. He and the rest of his band make some pretty funny songs about stuff like sex and drugs and rock and roll and eating breakfast in the shower and dinosaurs shooting lasers, and it's like lit, fam. Next is 2 more characters that would be in the same story as what's his face, Tilt Slam. This is Miles and Quad. I wanted Miles to look purposely edgy, and there's a character from a game called something just like AA Investigations 2, and the main character is Miles Edgeworth, and so he's got Edge in the name, and his first name's Miles, so this guy's gonna be black and red, and he's meant to be edgy, so I called him Miles, as a little reference to the game. Quad, I forgot why I called him Quad. Next up is a short little exchange I drew of Joey and I. It actually looks kind of stupid. Like, the way I drew us looks stupid. We're supposed to be holding our phones, so I'm probably going to try to redraw this in the future. So, first I say, hey bro, what's BTS? I think it's some kind of band. Some kind of gay Asian boy band? Yeah. So all I know about BTS is that it's an Asian boy band, and they're probably all gay. So, don't quote me on that. I don't know what BTS is, and it's just a joke. I'm not going to show that one. Oh, another concept for Biff. So, originally I was going to go with this kind of head as the final head design. So, I made a sketch for Biff, and I thought it looked kind of weird. It's too human-y, so I never finished the sketch. So I do think the hands, the feet, and the head look good. It's just the way the arms, the torso, and the legs look that really turns me off. And that's it. So thank you all for joining me on this sketchbook tour. I think I'm going to be taking a hiatus because making videos is making me exhausted. I have a lot of fish out of water let's plays floating around, so I hope you guys like those videos. Though I do have a couple other weird videos. So, that's pretty much... by the way, I'm going to upload all the videos tomorrow. That's pretty much it for the sketchbook tour. Goodbye, everybody!